So, verse 24. So, it seems to me, yet again, the plain reading is God is there with Abraham. And that he is in verse 24. We're saying the Lord reigned. And you can go back to this. You did speak about it earlier. But we went prior to that.
Yes.
So we'll come back to it. Brazil. Hey, the whole of South America. The Americas. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So just like you to give us yet again, because we went around a bit, your take on that. I'm saying the plain reading is the Lord is raining something from the Lord. That's the plain reading.
Right.
Now, rather than, because what I would say, you know, if you're constructing your sentence normally, you say the Lord rained fire and brimstone from heaven. You wouldn't say the Lord rained from the Lord. Like I would say, if I do something, I kick the football, not I kick the football from me.
Or like, for example, let's say I had more than one wife and I was talking to them. How would I speak to them? When I say wives, I'm Josh. When I say wives of Josh, or when I say my wives, right? And in fact, earlier on in Genesis, chapter 4,
the rock band Genesis.
In chapter 4, verse 23, what does Lamech say? And Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. O wives of Lamech, give ear to my speech. It doesn't say my wives. So we see that this is a construction that is used in the Bible for whichever purpose. But the purpose is not so relevant. The fact is that you can't tell me that the fact that it speaks about, it says that God rained it down from God, it is in itself telling you that there's more than one person. Hold on,
let me read that. Let me read that then.
Like saying there's more than one person of Lamech.
Let me write this. Okay, so the sister of, this is your, which you gave to me, chapter 4, verse 17. Oh, sorry, verse 22.
23.
Yeah, just at the end of 22.
23.
Yes. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. You wives of Lamech, hearken to what I say.
It doesn't say you
Well,
wives.
actually...
It says, oh wives of Lamech.
Fine, actually, that doesn't matter for this, so that's okay. You always have an advantage having the actual Hebrew.
Indeed.
But that's splendid.
It's a bit like how I'm sure you would have an advantage because you probably know Greek.
No, I don't.
Lazy.
I'm lazy in ignorance. I'm here to learn from my Hebrew speakers and my Greek speakers, but they're thinner on the ground than the Hebrew speakers, I think.
Yeah, there is one guy here. Have you met Nicola?
No. I may know his face.
Yeah, he's a Greek Macedonian.
Right.
He speaks.
Yes.
He speaks
So
Greek and Arabic.
So that will be very...
to have it out.
Yes. So, okay, I actually don't see this as similar to the example we're dealing with, because you could say, Michael and John, hear my voice. Oh, you friends of Stephen, XYZ.
If you're Stephen, are you Stephen?
No, but I take your point. You could say, you could speak. I think you could speak of yourself that way, because you're uttering.
If I speak to
you're making
parents,
a statement.
Oh, parents of Josh. No, you don't say that. You say my parents.
Yes, I know, but I still think I think it's different from the example in Genesis. I really think it is, because
they are very similar.
Nonetheless, you see, you've got two unusual sentence constructions,
yes.
But they're not the same.
They're not exactly the same, but they are very similar in that we're saying the subject's name twice. And in one of them, you want to say that.
Yes, but one is an exhortation,
and in one of them, you don't.
One is an exhortation, like, oh, wives of Josh, hearken to my voice, whatever it is. But this statement is unusual in a different way. So what you correctly said is there are unusual sentence constructions in Scripture. However, giving me one doesn't solve the other one. And this other one isn't paralleling it.
That saying two persons in a hypostatic nature is what we learn from this verse.
At this stage, I'm not saying we do.
Oh, well, good.
At this stage. You know, I will be at another stage, but at this stage, it's simply saying this is very odd to say the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And that implies there are two persons. The Lord reigns from the Lord, something.
The Lord with the Lord, yes.
Yes. So X reigns from Y
No, X
something.
reigns from X.
Yes, but the
It's the
normal
same
thing would be
thing.
saying X reign. The normal thing would be to say X reigns from Y.
Yes.
That would not be
But here it
unusual.
says that
When
X
you say
reigns from
X
X.
reigns from X,
Yes.
then it's like Y is X.
It's a bit like saying X reigns from himself, right? Which would still be X from X, but you've used a different word. Over here, we haven't done that for some reason, which I'm sure you're going to say is to do with the genitive.
I think it points to this different, the different persons
Right.
that are involved. Again, when I know I talk about the plain reading, I talk about a plain reading of the English translation. It seems to me the Hebrew carries a plain reading similar to the English translation too, because otherwise you'd have given me as you have done with the other ones very helpfully, a Hebrew literalism that isn't conveyed in here. But it seems that there's something unusual which even the Hebrew, when you look at it as you can, doesn't resolve.
I mean, you have literally thousands of those throughout the Tanakh of Hebrew, what seems to be grammatical errors or oddities in the text, strange words being used, repetitions, seeming contradictions, and those kind of things. So, of course, I, as an Orthodox Jew, believe that those are all resolved in the Oral Torah, and what I was saying before is in fact Oral Torah, like the way of how to resolve these types of things. But in this particular case, it certainly does give, it certainly gives a point to what you're saying. Obviously, I don't believe what you're saying.
But it couldn't be the whole banquet. I mean, if one hung everything on that, that would not be good enough.